The Toronto Raptors versus the Boston Celtics. Game 7 tonight. Yes, tonight. That game's going to be crazy. And I know I'm posting this video a little bit too close to the actual game happening, but this video just had to be made. In this video, we're going to talk about what each of these teams have to do to win this epic Game 7, and also my prediction on which of these two teams will go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Guys, Game 6 was spectacular, and I'm hoping Game 7 is going to be as good as that one. So if you're watching my video right now and are going to watch the game later today, I just want to say, enjoy that game. I want you guys to have a great time. Because one thing's for sure, I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat screaming because I just feel something crazy is gonna happen in this game. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is just how amazing Game 6 was. Game 6 was a total of 58 minutes due to double overtime and had more than 8 players play more than 50 minutes. That is crazy. There's been a total of 10 lead changes, and if you watch that game, anybody could have taken it. When it went to overtime, everybody thought and felt that the Boston Celtics were gonna take it. During the overtime periods, the Boston Celtics were in most part leading most of the time, but the Toronto Raptors just kept coming back. They had clutch layups by Fred, clutch layups by Lowry, clutch layups by OG, and most importantly, clutch shots by Norman Powell. I'll be honest, Nick Nurse giving the ball to Norman Powell to take the final shot to go into overtime, that was pretty interesting. I thought Freddie or Lowry would have taken it, but the point is Norman Powell came up big in the next overtime and gave the Raptors the victory. So overall, when talking about Game 6, it was definitely one of the best games I've ever watched in a playoff series. Especially a Game 6 where there was so much on the line for the Raptors, them coming out with the victory, it was just spectacular and amazing to witness and experience. For you Raptor fans out there, imagine being there in person. Imagine being there in Jurassic Park. The intensity, the emotion, the crowds, oh my goodness, I just wish that was a possibility. The Boston Celtics, on the other hand, were also great in this game, but the fact that they were great, it just went down to who played better. Down the stretch, Kemba Walker had a step-back mid-range jumper on OG Anunoby, Jaylen Brown had a few nice free throws to bring the Boston Celtics up, and Jason Tatum with a clutch floater to make the Boston Celtics still within range. But there were some bad turnovers by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown that Kyle Lowry and Norman Powell and Freddie were a big part of defensively for the Raptors. Generally speaking, I do believe the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics, they are evenly matched, but now I want to talk about what each team has to do to give them a better opportunity at going home with a victory in Game 7. The first team that I want to talk about is the Boston Celtics and what I believe they must do right away, and there's actually one solution to this fact. The solution is that the Boston Celtics need to get Kemba Walker going, get Kemba to do what they brought him in to do. In Game 6, Kemba Walker went 0 for 3 in the first half and went a total of 2 for 11 in the whole 58-minute game. These numbers are definitely what Boston Celtics brought Kemba Walker in to do. They want Kemba to do more, and Kemba is going to need to be a big factor if they want to win Game 7. He needs to be there mentally, needs to be there defensively, needs to be there as a captain, a floor general, as what Kemba Walker usually is, and needs to be the guy taking those clutch shots when needed. We all know about what Kemba can do. He can break those hearts of the opponents, and that's why I believe in Game 7, Kemba Walker needs to be a big factor, and I believe the Boston Celtics and Brad Stevens knows that as well, and is definitely going to focus a lot of their offense around Kemba in the first half. Another thing that I believe the Boston Celtics should do in this Game 7 and be really strict about, and that's playing a very tight lineup, which means not playing Robert Williams, which means not playing Enes Kanter, playing guys that you know can produce. The starting five of Kemba, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Tice might have to all play a 35+ minute game in order to secure that victory. And if they do need rest, the first guy off the bench should be Brad Wanamaker and also a little bit of Grant Williams, but no more than that. execution from the starters is going to be very key, as they've proven that in this 6-game series so far, and they're just going to have to put everything they got on the floor in this Game 7. The Boston Celtics have to get hot like they did in Game 1 and in Game 5, get an early lead at the beginning of the game, so the Raptors will have to play comeback the whole game, as they've won Game 1 and 5 easily because of that. When talking about defense, the Boston Celtics have one of the better defense sets in the NBA, but what they do have to get better on is playing transition defense on the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are a very quick team. They move the ball at a high pace when they're on that fast break, so getting and limiting their defense on the transition is going to be very important. Another thing they have to do is also cover and limit their three-point shooting. The Boston Celtics have lost multiple games in this series due to the lack of closing on those three-point shots. We've seen it with Jaylen Brown on that OG buzzer beater. There were some clutch shots that Norman Powell made in Game 6 that Jaylen Brown couldn't close in on time. They have to execute that better on defense. If the Boston Celtics can do all of these things, get Kemba Walker going, play better transition defense, and get their players to play heavy minutes, because it is a Game 7, there's a lot on the line, I believe it'll increase their chances. But we're talking about the Toronto Raptors and what they need to do, it is pretty obvious, and that's get their best player, Pascal Siakam, to actually be the best player. In Game 6, Pascal Siakam was horrible. There was 58 minutes on the clock. He played a total of 54 minutes, and guess what his stats were? Pascal Siakam's stats were he shot 19 shots, only made 5 of them, which means he shot a total of 29%. Siakam also had 3 turnovers, which were all crucial turnovers during the end stretch of the game. He only went to the line 4 times and only made 2 out of 4 shots, and I believe Siakam just needs to get to the line more, be more aggressive, and be a focal point, because right now the Boston Celtics aren't worried about him. He's not doing anything to, you know what, impact the Raptors. So what's very important for the Raptors is to get Pascal Siakam going early, get him comfortable, and as Fred said, find him and put him in the best position possible. Kyle Lowry once again is going to have to play spectacular. He's going to have to play heavy minutes, probably plus 40, and definitely put up at least 30 points and be focal point as a floor general, defensively, taking charges. I'm predicting that Kyle Lowry will be everywhere on the court tonight. Nick Nurse has done a great job on coaching the Raptors. They're a very well coached team, and I actually like what I saw from the Raptors in the OT in Game 6, where they went for a very small lineup. With their 5 of Lowry, Van Vliet, Norman Powell, OG, and Siakam at the 5, I like that. That's the Raptors' quickest and fastest lineup. The Boston Celtics love doing a drive and kick with either Tatum or Kemba Walker or even Marcus Smart. The Raptors with this lineup can close out to those 3-point shots as quickly as possible, and in this game, I believe that should be the closing lineup once again. Serge Ibaka is going to have to be a big focal point in the second and third quarters to put up heavy boards and get those easy buckets in the paint. And of course, you have to get Norman Powell going early. Norm's got to get hot, because on the games that Toronto Raptors did lose to the Boston Celtics, Norman Powell was a no factor. So overall for the Raptors, get Pascal Siakam comfortable, and they also have to get Norman Powell and Serge Ibaka, who are their bench players, to get hot in the first half and in the early second half. And now I want to talk about my prediction. If I were to talk about which team is better when it comes to talent, I'm gonna be honest, I would say that the Boston Celtics do edge out the Raptors. They just have better players, and I just believe they just have more options when it comes to offense. If Kemba can't get going, there's Tatum. If Tatum can't, there's Brown. Then there's Smart. Then there's Tice. There's just more depth when it comes to a player that you can rely on the Boston Celtics roster. But what the Raptors have that no other NBA team has is their level of heart and grit and grind. The Raptors just don't give up. When it comes down to it, this game is going to be a game of talent versus heart. Who's going to take it? But if I were to predict one team that will win Game 7, if somebody said, Zoom, here's $1 million if you predict the right team that will win, I would probably say and give the edge, listen guys, the edge to the Boston Celtics. I know you Raptor fans out there are gonna hate me. Listen to me, I am a big Raptor fan. I am from Toronto, and me saying this is a bold statement. I believe Game 6 took a lot out of the Raptors. They're going to be very tired, and just having 2 days of rest is not enough. Playing 50 minutes 2 days rest is not enough. But one thing's for sure, the Raptors are not gonna go away easy, and I won't be surprised if they pull a Boston Celtic upset. The odds right now are against the Toronto Raptors, and I will be in the favor of the Boston Celtics when it comes to my prediction. But when it comes to my heart, y'all know what I really want. I want the Raptors to win. I'm gonna be watching the game tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, with my family. We're all gonna cheer for the Raptors no matter the circumstance. And you know what, guys? I believe the Raptors could win. I do believe it. But yeah, guys, this wraps up my video today on the Celtics vs Raptors prediction. I hope you guys watched the whole video and enjoyed. And if you agree with me, smash that thumbs up button. So now let's not waste any more time. Let's get ready for the game. Make your nachos, make your chicken wings, do what you gotta do. Cause this game 7, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be amazing. And I can't wait to talk to you guys after the game about what happened. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!